Okay, you are all welcome back. I have 6 questions. So you choose from question 1 to 6.
Is it table topics?
No, not table topics.
I know, I'm just joking. Yeah. Okay. So,
Who is going first?
The questions, Nko.
There are 6 questions. So you choose
Okay,
one.
so
I have question 1 to 6.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I
That's
choose
like
question 1. I choose question 1.
No, don't be scared. The questions are not difficult at all. They are very straightforward questions. Question 1, please. Do you have I hope you have a writing material there, pen and paper.
Yes, I do.
Okay, the question 1 is you have to speak for 20 minutes on goal setting. It's a great management skill. Goal setting is a great management skill.
Okay.
All right. So who's next?
Okay, I take question 5.
Question 5.
Yeah.
Question 5 says, being wealthy is more than just having money.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Yes, being wealthy is more than just having money.
Yes, that's what you have to speak on in 20 minutes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, question 2.
Question 2. Question 2 says girls' education is more important than boys' education.
Okay.
Okay, Esther, you are welcome. Ozazu,
Yeah,
you are welcome.
sorry, I'm a bit late.
Okay,
So
Ozazu.
Okay.
Yes.
We have question 3, question 4.
Okay, I go with question 3.
Question 3. You have 20 minutes to speak on true wisdom comes from experience.
Okay.
You get it? True wisdom comes from experience.
Okay.
All right, Esther, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got question 3. True wisdom comes from experience.
No, you have to choose your own question. We have 4 and 6 now.
Oh, okay. 4 and 6. Okay, what's the question 4 is what?
Have you chosen question 4, Esther? Don't, so that when I mention
No,
4,
I'm asking, I said, what's question 4?
No, actually, I have 6 questions. One person is to choose one question and just structure the speech according to that question. The question is a title, is a statement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all others have been picked except 4 and 6.
Okay, except 4 and 6.
Yes.
Okay, I see. Let me hear 6, please. 6.
Okay, you are to speak in an international conference on how to grow a successful business.
Wow. How to grow a successful business.
Yes. Okay. Did we all get the question? Is there anyone who didn't get his or her question?
Sorry, let me be sure of my own. You said goal setting is a great management skill.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
So this is 12:28. You have just within 5 to 10 minutes to come up with the structure of how you will give this speech. It might not need to be perfect. I just want you to be able to develop a speech structure just within 10 minutes. Just within 10 minutes. So please, your time starts now. And in 10 minutes, I'll end this.
Hello.
I'll end this session.
Hi.
Hello? Okay. So we'll be back here by 12:40. I'll call everyone back by 12:40 to give the structure of your own speech. Let me play music for us while we walk. Can we hear the music? I hope you can hear.
No.
You can't hear the music?
Yes.
Oh, let me share the screen. I'm sure. Can you hear it now?
No.
Can you hear the music?
No, no,
Wow.
no, we can't hear it.
Wow, let me see. Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear it now.
Okay, okay. Okay, welcome back. Now let's hear. Jumobi said he might be going somewhere soon, so we'd like to hear from Jumobi first, and then Sodiq will follow. Kaite will be next. Sasu will follow, and then lastly, but not the least at all, is Esther. I hope we get the sequence. We'll start with Jumobi, then Sodiq, then Ekaite, then Usasu, and then finally we have Esther. Okay, so Jumobi, your question was being wealthy is more than just having money. So let's hear your structure.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay. I'll start with basically a story that links to what happened to Africa during the coronavirus incident. You know, that we've just talking about the coronavirus and the incidences of death in different stratas of the society, just to show in a way that lots of wealthy people died, just to register that thought in everybody's mind.
Okay.
Then I would go with that. I'll step down into my speech. What definition of wealth?
Okay.
Riches of money, that's abundance of wealth, or plentiful supply of a particular desirable thing.
Okay.
Plentiful supply of a particular desirable thing. So I'm taking it away from money to satisfaction.
Okay.
In another area. There I will make examples of Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, or how they live their life.
Okay.
Then the how now, search for satisfaction, turning to the audience. I'm talking about, do they have a career or be a social cause, anything they can think of that would make them satisfied as individuals, that will give them satisfaction of the heart other than material satisfaction.
Okay.
Why? I would now go back to tell them what the very, very rich have been doing with their money, namely Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates, and Warren Buffett, of how these people have pledged to give out a lot of their money to other people because they just they feel like helping the world, just to show that you don't have to hold tight to whatever money you have, or it's not in your abundance of wealth that gives you security. Then in closing, I'll go back to, just to recap, plentiful supply of a desirable thing. That is what you think. That's my line of thought in being wealthy is more than just having money. Then I'll close with a quote. I'll read it out so that we all understand. It doesn't matter about money, having it or not having it, or having clothes or not having them. You're still left alone with yourself in the end. This is just to get the audience to look for satisfaction rather than holding money. Then drawing on the examples of the three Americans I've mentioned, and also looking at Mother Teresa and Nelson Mandela for the legacies they've left that goes way beyond money. That's how.
Wow, fantastic. Was it the three? Did you choose 3x3, 4x3, 3x5?
And more like 3x3. Yeah. I prefer that. Yeah. 3x3. Key points, the what definition of wealth, then you give an example of it. Then when you move to how, the key points, then you break it down sub-point 1, 2, 3. Because of the kind of question, initially it was difficult for me to arrange. It's not a normal question. It's more like a rhetorical question. So I had to do what, how, and why. To finish. Yeah. Respond.
So we have the what, we have the how, and then we have the
why. Yes, exactly. To respond, because it's a shift in opinion, because many people always, so that's the way I take it. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. That's what I wanted to see, the how, the what, and the why. The what, the how, and the why. Fantastic. Fantastic. That's 3x3. And I hope it wasn't too difficult for you to come up with it.
No. It was just to respond to the question. It's not like, it's more like a rhetorical question. It's not, yeah, I think it's a difficult question. Yeah.
Yeah, but even though it was difficult, coming up with what to say just within 10 minutes.
Oh, no. It wasn't difficult when I was able to. That's where the metrics really played a big role. It was the initial problem I had, just to arrange it to a logical sequence that made sense to me to tell a story. And affirm my point of view. Yeah.
And
the metrics is really good. Yeah.
Yeah, with what, how, and why. I mean, you could fill it up with 10,000 words or even 20,000.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well done. Well done. Sadiq.
Yes. Okay.
You have the floor.
Okay. I started with a quote, and the quote was by Robert Ajavec. He said, "A goal without a timeline is a dream." So I followed that up. I will follow that up with a little explanation.
Okay.
That relates to what Robert said. And thereafter, I will ask. I will thereafter ask a question.
Where did you get that example from?
Okay.
That who among you, or who? Okay. That's what of if I tell you how to use goal, how to make use of goal to improve your management skill.
Okay.
I know definitely that may be engaging. It's a kind of interaction.
Okay.
Then thereafter, I will tell them about the SMART model.
Okay.
Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, then time bound.
Okay.
I will now relate the SMART model to some of the greatest people in the world.
Okay.
People like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and other top management people that have been able to use the goal setting to achieve greatness in their field. I'll now narrow it down to myself.
Okay.
How I've also been able to learn from that goal setting skill to improve my own businesses or personal development too.
Okay.
So in conclusion, I will now task them that if they can work on their goal setting, if they can work on goal setting, then they'll be able to improve their management skill.
Okay.
So that's the way I ended it.
Okay, so which did you use 3x3 matrix, 3x4, 3x5?
No, it's 3x3.
Okay, so the first one is what? Is about what?
Yeah, it's about why.
Why? Okay, the second one?
The how.
How? And the third one?
Then the third one is where.
Where? So, okay, so you have why, what, and where.
No, where, how, and where.
Where, how, and why.
Why, how, and where.
Okay, why, how, and where.
Yes.
Okay, so you are talking about why management skills
is important.
Is important.
Then how they can be able to learn the management skill using the examples of the successful people in the world.
Okay.
And also using myself too as an example.
Okay, fantastic. And then where?
And where they can, although I didn't put that, I'm just trying to write it down. Now, where they can get the necessary skill to be able to improve their management skill.
Okay, and then that where too can also include where they can apply.
Okay, where they can apply.
Where they can, so you can see now with the 3x3, you have an idea.
Yes.
Of the scope of what you want to talk about. I hope it wasn't too difficult anyway.
No, it wasn't.
All right, fantastic. Well done.
Thank you.
Excellent job. Ekate, you are next. Please unmute yourself and you have the floor.
Okay. Thank you. I was to write, my speech was to be on girls' education. Girls' education is more important than boys' education.
Yes.
To start with, this like a comparative question. It's not a
Yes.
general. It's not a general question. So to make this go down very well, I decided in my introduction, I'm going to capture the story of a girl child.
Okay.
Making my audience see how, you know, from from the girl, when you're a girl, the advantages, comparing how it is, the life of a girl and a boy.
Okay.
It's like a family setting, you know,
Okay.
and then what that causes, you know, the the impact that create that impact, what it causes to the girl child.
Okay.
Then I'll now move on to the body. That's I'll transit to the body.
Okay.
And in the body, I'll tell the audience who a girl child is.
Okay.
What makes up a girl child?
Okay.
How the girl child has been trained in our society, you know, how God Himself created the girl child, the compassion, the things that make up a girl child. That is to make my audience, prepare them to know that, okay, these are the components of a girl child, which, if not educated, cannot be harnessed. And in doing that, don't forget, it's a comparative speech.
Yes.
So when I am doing this, like if I say something like the girl child is a home builder,
Okay.
if I say a girl child is a wealth keeper, if I say a girl child is a society builder,
Okay.
I will also give examples, practical examples to back up why I am saying that.
Okay.
So I will now transit to the why. That is the advantages of training a girl child. That's a girl child education. So when I get to that point, I will now bring out the benefits the society will gain training a girl child. So I will go there to talk about the economic growth. That's building it from the background I gave of who a girl child is.
Okay.
Then we'll talk about promoting intergenerational successes. That's
Okay.
translated from yes. Then I'll talk about building a strong family base and by extension, the society.
Okay.
So when I do that, I'll now go to the how. How do you train a girl child? How do we come out of this? You know? So I'll talk to them, encourage my audience on how to send the girl child to school and things that are available to, you know, like maybe if it's in a place that maybe it's the economic reasons that is making them not to, then I'll mention and encourage them on why the girl child, or where they can send the girl child to, you know, where maybe they have just tell them on how to encourage the girl child to go to school, and then how they should give equal opportunities, the same opportunities that are given to the boy child, they should also give to the girl child, and then how and where the support that not just the family, but other women that are like examples should be like models to these girls to aspire them to also want to come out of the stereotype that they have put them. That's my how. Then in conclusion, I will make everyone. I'll mention names of great women that are doing all the things that I had mentioned earlier. That's to cite them that this is possible and this is how it's going to impact our society. And after doing all of that, mentioning names of successful women and how they have impacted the society at large, I will end my speech with a quote. In this case, I have a quote that says, if you educate a man, you educate an individual. But if you educate a girl, you educate a nation. For when girls are educated, their countries become stronger. That is how I'll end it.
Okay, fantastic. So your 3x3 matrix is what?
I had the who.
Who, okay.
I have the why.
Why?
I have the how.
A how. Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
So you have who, why, how.
Yes. In my why, I also put in the what. That's like what this is. That's why and what.
Okay, so you have why, what, who.
That's in the why I interwove the what, but the main thing I have is who. That's who is the girl child.
Okay.
Yes. Why train a girl child?
Okay, why?
Then we came up with how a girl child should be trained.
And there was a mixture of what in between?
Yes, in the why, while answering the why question.
Okay, fantastic. I hope it wasn't too difficult to use the 3x3.
No, it wasn't. No.
Okay.
It wasn't.
All right, fantastic work. Toastmaster Osazu, you are next. Please unmute yourself and you have the floor. Osazu, you have the floor. Hello, Osazu, can you hear me? All right, Esther, if you are ready, maybe we'll see while we wait for her, you could give your own feedback. Hello?
Okay.
All right,
Hello,
Osazu.
I'm ready.
Okay,
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. The topic that was given is true wisdom comes from experience.
Okay.
You know, I will start by defining what with a quote by Albert Einstein that says wisdom is not. Hello, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, we can hear you.
That wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of lifelong attempts to acquire it.
Okay.
It comes with tough trial and error and achievement.
Okay.
It's not wisdom. Wisdom is not nothing but the stored memories of our mistakes, of the pain associated with it. And I will also back it up with a short story, a brief story of how I experienced my mom passing through pain when she was giving birth. You know, it was really, it wasn't a wonderful experience, but at the end of the day, I learned from it and told myself that in preparing myself to become a mother, there are certain things I will have to do in order not to pass through this pain, because she was giving birth to her sixth child. And I know the doctor told her it's because of her age. That was why she was passing. That's why the delivery was difficult. Okay. So I told myself there are some certain things I will do. I learned through that. And at the end of the day today, I'm happy. I'm not passing through such pains. I have learned through that. And how will I start? By introducing that story to them, I will move into the body by telling them that how do they get a grail of wisdom? You know, what must you do in order not to find yourself in a messy situation? just the way we have in our country, Nigeria today. Our leaders have not learned from the past. They've not learned from experiences of other countries. They have not put to heart. They have not determined to intentionally learn from those other countries. And for the how, what are ways, what are things people must put to heart, you know, to prepare themselves in order to at the end of the day, they will not find themselves in a mess. One, knowledge. They have to acquire knowledge through reading a lot of books, because these are recorded thoughts and experiences of great wise men and women. If our leaders had been able to observe, to study, and determine to put a change, you know, to change the status quo of the country, by now we would not be where we are today. Secondly, we must be disciplined and self-controlled in order to observe, to ponder, and to learn, even in tough situations. For example, like in this present pandemic, many people are wailing, they are whining, they are saying, oh, why is this 2020? We want, but there are so many lessons to be learned. If we observe, if we ponder, and we just, you know, see what is going on. There are many things we are supposed to learn to, like, okay, I have to upgrade. There are some certain skills I have to learn to prepare myself for the future, to prepare our children for the future. Because adversity strengthens what? The mind to get prepared. Whenever we achieve anything, we applaud ourselves, we celebrate, we are happy. But whenever we are passing through a tough situation, our mind begins to think. We begin to ask ourselves questions. And that's where comes the transformation. And that is the how. Now, in conclusion, in order to be wise, we can observe, we have to be sensitive. We are, even from people's our interaction or our relationship with people. When people are when we have a toxic relationship with someone, we don't just make drastic decisions. We must learn from that experience. We must learn from it and be able to impact knowledge to the younger generation. We must be futuristic. We must be able to plan for the future. We must not hesitate in taking drastic decisions, you know, when we have negative emotions around us. Because if we look at, for example, the story of the UAE, they were able to sit down, they observed from other Western countries that are making great progress to say, oh, what did these people really do? They observed, they were sensitive, they were disciplined also to put these things together to bring such that their country will be transformed. Today, many people are running there, but there were things they did to learn from the experiences of others, not just their own experiences, so that at the end of the day, you know, everybody is happy, the nation is happy. My call to action is that we must be open-minded to people, you know, whether to people's opinions, to people's stories, to circumstances we find ourselves, whether good or bad. Our personal success and failures also through these experiences makes us to become wiser. You know, thank you so much, Sado. That's
fantastic.
all.
I was thinking you are even giving the speech itself. You have added all the flesh and the bones to it. Well done, Toastmaster.
Thank you.
Osazu. So your 3 by 3 now, what was the first one?
It was what the definition of what true wisdom is, of the relationship it has with experience, define it. Then the how, what so and what we need to put to heart such that we will learn, we'll be able to gain this wisdom through experiences of others. How? By true knowledge, acquiring knowledge through books, through people's experiences and our own experiences, be it successes or failures. Then the why. Yeah. Why are we really doing this? So that at the end of the day, we will not find ourselves in any mess, you know, where be it individuals, corporate bodies, or a nation, just like Nigeria today. Nobody wants to, you don't want to be in a mess. You don't want your children to be in a mess in the future. So you have to plan and be futuristic so that at the end of the day, you know, you'll be happy and the nation also, everybody in the nation will be happy. Thank you.
Fantastic. So you have what first, followed by how, and then finally why.
Why?
Okay, fantastic. I hope the 3x3 matrix helped you.
No, I don't understand what you are talking about. I missed that aspect. I think that was when I was on my way home.
Oh, okay. I will briefly.
Yeah, so I know about this what, how, why. So I just like, okay, let me just I didn't really get when you were talking about the 3x3 matrix.
Oh, okay. I will go through it briefly before we end.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Fantastic. Esther, you have the floor.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
I also was not quite clear about the matrices, but I premised mine on 4: the what, the why, the how, and the when. And my topic is to give a speech at an international conference on how to grow a successful business. So I take it that you people are the audience.
Yes.
So I started with the what. I opened with a question.
Okay.
Now I ask you questions. I ask you people the question.
Okay.
Who wants to be like Aliko Dangote?
I raised my hand already. In fact, 2 hands.
I can see everybody raising. Some are even raising 2 hands.
With my legs, I've added my legs too.
Okay, coach. Okay, coach. I know everybody wants to be like Aliko Dangote. I want to be like that too.
Yes.
So I started with a question, and then I went on with the what.
Okay.
What is a business? A successful business, rather. What is a successful business?
Okay.
There are many descriptions of a successful business.
Okay.
So many, but you can take 1 or 2 based on how you want to build your discussion.
Okay.
So from the description, you take 1 or 2, what a successful business is, you describe it, and then you go to the why, which is the second leg. Why? Why do you have a business? Why do you even want to start a business at all? First, you start a business to solve, the answer would be to solve a problem. That's why we establish businesses, and at the same time make money. So that is the why. Then I went on to the how. This is now the body. I'm building the body now. Okay. So I talked about the how. We talked about how somebody can can grow a successful business. You can talk about, you let the audience know that growing a successful business does not have to be that you wait until when you acquire all the big money you want to acquire before you start a business. That is not necessarily how to start a business. You tune their minds to the fact that even as they're sitting there with the little money they have, they can start something small. And then you can give example. I gave example like Dangote. I remember the story of Dangote. I listened to it once. He said he started his business when he was a youth corper. He was serving in Lagos. He was posted to Lagos to serve at the Ports Authority, MPA, as a corper. And that was when he developed the interest. And with the little money he got, he started something. He started buying and selling. And then I talked about the sources of income that you can use to start. There are types of businesses rather. There are some businesses still building the body now. There are some businesses that you build by yourself, like the one I just talked about, getting your little money and starting up small. And then there are some that are inherited. Those ones, you can have them in categories, big, medium, or large. Inherited businesses, start by yourself, and then there are ways of raising the funds. You can get the funds through families, loans, family and friends. They can loan you money. You could get a little loan from the bank as well. Then from your savings, little by little, you save money and then you start small. Then still building up. And then how? The best way, or one of the ways of starting a business is through apprenticeship. You learn under somebody, and then I've seen big time business people do apprentice to people, and then they bolt out at a point in time, and then in that same business that they learned under, because they learned, they are familiar with the ropes, and that prepares them for success. Because going into a business that you know nothing about, sometimes it's just a plan for failure. So I talked about the how. That's the how I talked about. Then I concluded with the 4 leg with the when. Okay. And my conclusion was that in concluding, I asked, when is the best time to start a business? And I remember this famous saying that the best time to start was yesterday, but failing to start yesterday, the next best time is now. And that's my conclusion. All right, fantastic. So I hope I tried. You did exceptionally well, Esther. Thank you, Coach. Well done. Everyone has done exceptionally well. So I would like to share my screen again for the last time. Before I give my assignment, I still have assignment to give. Okay. The 3x3 matrix. Sasu, for your benefit, and Esther and every other person, what to structure your speech? First of all, you have this. Let's go back to this. Yes. So a traditional speech structure means you have an opening, you have the body, and then you have the closing. That's the traditional structure. Every good speech must have these 3 in their sequence. You must start with the opening, you move to the body, and then you conclude. Now we say to open your speech, you can open it with any of this. You can start with a story, a question, analogy, humor, any one of them can go. You can use 2 of them, you can use 3 of them, but you must also be mindful of the time. The smaller the time, the smaller the opening. And I said the formula of 10-80-10 is best. That's 10% of the time for opening, 80% of the time for the body, 10% of the time for closing. 10-80-10 is a fantastic formula for how to manage your time. Because as a good public speaker, you have to speak within time. So to open, you use 10% of the time for your opening. And you can use any of this story, analogy, interaction, whatever format you choose to open your speech. And then during the opening too, you would have told them what you want to talk about, the major point of view. You must have told them what they need to do. You must have told them the benefits they need to gain is part of your opening. So opening, after telling the story, you might now emphasize what you are going to say, that it is good, it is possible to manage a successful company. And then you tell them the benefits. You tell them what they need to do. Maybe 1, they need to start, they need to grow, they need to do this, they need to do that from your opening. And then you didn't just 10% of the time, you're able to mention that. Then you go to transitions. I said the transition could be, you could use words like, on the other hand, if you are comparing 2 things. If you are not comparing 2 things, you can just pause for 3 to 10 seconds and allow that silence to dwell in your audience, and then you just move on. Or you can carry and take some very deliberate steps from where you were when you made the last statement, and deliberately move to maybe to the other side of the podium, or move from the right hand to the left hand of the podium. So you can move, stage movement is allowed, or you can just slow down and then raise your voice again so they know you are moving to the next thing.
or you can use, if it's a process kind of speech, and use first, second, and so on. So as you need to transit correctly. From your opening, you transit to your body. And in the body is where we have the 3x3 matrix. What that tells you is that you need 3 key points. And most times people could use, one key point could be related to why. The next key point could be related to who. The next key point could be related to when. The next one could be related to where, could be related to what, could be related to which, could be related to any one of them. And even the sub-points too could be what, why, when. Anyhow you want to structure it, you need to have, first of all, have the 3 main things you are going to talk about. Could be why, who, when. That is 3 key points. And then under each point, the examples. The example could be a story. The example could use analogy, could be a picture, could be an incident. But you must use this to support why that thing is good, how that thing can be done, who needs to do those things. And you must give minimum of 3 examples. One could be an example, one could be a story, one could be an analogy. You could use 3 stories, you could use 3 examples, you could use 3 anything. So you have the 3 why, the one is why, then 3 points under it. Another point, 3 points under it. Another point, 3 points under it. So that's why it's called 3x3. You have 3 big ideas and 3 supporting ideas under the 3 big ideas. So that's why it's called 3x3. So you have 9 examples for every speech you give. 9 examples. Those examples could be stories, it could be statistics, it could be quotes, it could be anything. So you have 3 big ideas and 9 supporting ideas under them. That's why it's 3x3. Okay, so for all of them, it is the same principle, 3x3. So you just, okay, for example, for anything you want to write, if you just say, okay, I want to tell them why, fine. So you now look for all the whys and put them together. The next one, I want to tell them how. You now look for all the hows and put them together. Then I want to tell them when. You look for all the when and then put them together. And then cluster everything together to bring out the why, the who, the when. It all up to you. You are in charge, whichever way you want to explain it. And we saw this kind of example. The main thing was to talk about public speaking skills. And under the first key point here, the very first main point that the person is using, the person now says, the first general main point was the best public speakers have great listening skills. So the first one you are talking about is listening skills. So he went ahead to say there are 3 basic types of listening skills. Maybe he mentioned type 1, type 2, type 3. And then he went to the second point, he uses statistics. So the first one, he uses description. The second sub-point, he uses references according to Harvard Business Review. That's a reference, okay? Might say, according to Harvard Business Review, bright people listen well. It could be a review that was done with 500 people, 1,000 people, and that the summary of that review says bright people listen well. So I still talking about listening skills. And then the third sub point is my greatest achievement in relationship is based on my capacity to relate well, to listen well. Okay, you are still talking about the emphasis is on listening because the main key point was on listening skills. So every example, every support, every evidence, every quote, every reference is also related to listening. You don't move from the key point. Everything you say under that main key point must relate to the key point. And then you restate the key point again. To become exceptional public speaker, you need to develop listening skills. So from listening skills, you may go to vocal skills, you may go to body skills, you may go to hand skills. So if you are talking about hand skills, everything you are going to say under hand skill must be to portray the importance of using hand skills. Then after the body, you now close. Closing, you can now reiterate or restate what you have told them before. You now tell them the benefit they stand to gain, and then you now conclude with another story. And that story must be a very captivating story that summarizes everything. You can also end with a quote. You can end with a statement. You can end with a reference. You can end with anything. So the idea is you start with a story in the opening, you end with a story in the end. You can start with a reference in the beginning and end with a story in the end. All depends on you. So I hope that is the best summary I can give on this. And Cato the Elder, who lived several years, thousands of years ago, says, in public speaking, once you grab the subject, the words will follow. In other words, once you know your topic, what you will say becomes easy. And the matrix, 3x3 matrix, has made it exceptionally easy to speak on any subject matter in the world. You can start at this preliminary level on the question what, why, who, when, and so on. And once you're able to get why, you can see almost everybody spoke about why. So many of us spoke about how. So once you say, okay, I want to tell them why, I want to tell them how, I want to tell them who, it becomes very easy for you to look for materials that will support why that subject matter is important, who should be involved, when the person should be involved, how the person should be involved, and so on and so forth. So the structuring of a speech is actually knowing how to build your content around who, when, why, where, and so on. I hope we have all gotten it. So once you grab the subject matter, please ask the question who, when, why, where, and so on, and the structure will be in your head. Just know that I have to give 3 main points, and I have to support it with 3 smaller ideas, and then your structure is set. Ideally, it shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes to create the structure in your mind, and then you can now start adding flesh to it. So my assignment before we end this lecture is you have 2 weeks to come up with a subject matter, a topic that you find interesting. It could be a real life topic, it could be something you get from the internet, you can get it from anywhere. It could be an office assignment that you are asked to speak on. And then you create a speech out of it. In 2 weeks' time, Saturday precisely, everybody will give a 10-minute speech on whatever subject matter that will happen. And then I'll be looking out at the structure. The structure will be my most important attention. That's where I will look at. So you have 2 weeks to come up with any topic of your choice, create the structure, and then give a 10-minute speech on what you have chosen. The structure is the most important thing that I'll be looking out for. The content will be good, but I want to see how well you structure that speech. I hope we have understood the assignment.
Yes.
Yes, coach.
All right, so you have 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today will be 12th of September.
Yes.
So 12th September, maybe by 11 o'clock again, we'll have just 1 hour meeting. And then after that meeting, we'll now see if we can do another assignment.
Okay, sir.
Okay, coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for attending.
Yes.
It was a pleasure. I hope we all learned one or two things. Any questions
Sure,
at this juncture?
we learned a lot.
Sir, sorry, this
so
material, this presentation, are we going to get it?
Yes. Since you have paid for the program, the material is free. I will send the material, I will send the video and the audio as usual.
Thank you.
And then I also send the certificate.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Send your email address and your name as you would want it to appear on your certificate to the platform.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir, and have a good weekend, everybody.
Have a wonderful weekend.